couple of announcements. Thank you, Rachel, for your talk on Thursday, and wasn't it last week on Thursday you gave a talk? Tuesday. Was whatever it was.
Thursday.
It was a week ago. And Rachel will be giving another talk on Tuesday. She'll be talking about the third Bodhisattva stage. Shining the light. Yeah, there you go. These are great grounds. All day sitting coming up November 9th. So I will send you email just to follow up on stuff. So please come. It's important. The whole world. Ground. We need ground. And there is up there, and I have it here, is today at the jail, which is 562 Russell. It's where they would where ICE is bringing people when they're detained. From 3 to 4, there's a teach-in by I've met her. I'm going by an immigration rights attorney, and then from about 4:30 to I think 6 or 6:30, there's a few faith leaders. I'm one of them, saying prayers or whatever we do, and there's music, and there's theater, and there's speakers, helping us all become more aware of the situation in our county and how we can be of support in this crazy world. And if you don't want to come, which I mean, everybody do what you need to do. There's also a petition that you can sign, a letter you can sign, and there's a barcode up there that I think you can just do on your phone, right? That just says, county officials, do everything you can to help keep people safe.
Is that the same petition that we were emailing about to make us a sanctuary county, or is this a second petition?
I think that's it.
Same one, okay.
I think that's it. So we are now into, remember how big the Avatamsaka Sutra was? Well, this is one chapter in the Avatamsaka Sutra. So there is no end to our wonder and the possibilities of how to practice as bodhisattvas. We on Tuesday did the first ground, which is the ground of joyfulness. There were some chant sheets up there left over from Tuesday. We have some chant sheets here. We're going to do some more chanting today on the second ground. And it's also going to be on shared screen, so people may want to move over and be able to see it when we do it. But I want to give us a little background. First, I'll read something from Ben Connolly's book, Inside the Flower Garland Sutra, Huayan Buddhism and the Modern World. People have been telling me that they are enjoying this. Ben found wisely, because I know he's been studying and practicing in his Sangha, the Minnesota Sangha, for I have a whistle on because that's you'll see there's things up there about wearing whistles, so that if you see people being taken in a way that feels harmful, you blow a whistle, and then other people come to help. So Ben knows the Avatamsaka Sutra, one would presume, decided he wanted to write a book, and how do you write a book about any of this? So he found a little Korean sutra, or a little Korean commentary of sorts on the whole sutra, and that's what he focused on, which makes it, Rachel and I thought about just doing this, and then kind of decided, no, you have to taste the whole sutra. But this is really, it's very good. So I'm going to read chapter 15 in here, The Awakening Heart. The mind's first aspiration for awakening is true awakening. This line is a direct quotation from the Avatamsaka Sutra. It refers to the central Mahayana Buddhist concept of bodhicitta, awakening mind. A person who aspires to awaken so that everyone can awaken has tasted the mind's first aspiration for awakening. At some point, a person may realize they want to give their life so that everyone can be liberated from suffering. So you wouldn't be here if you just kind of, it's like a quickening of the heart, of you just realize you care. And you realize that you want to be able to find out what that caring looks like and feels like in your body, speech, and mind in the world. Rosa Parks said it well. I would like to be remembered as someone who wanted to be free so other people would also be free. Many Buddhist traditions extol the wonder and power of bodhicitta. And then he talks about the 10 stages, the 10 grounds. I like grounds, the language, way more than stages. Stages sounds like you do one, and then you get to two, and then and then you could backslide, or these are just grounds. This is what you ground your whole life in. Once you know that you care and that you want to be here and be of help in whatever way your life manifests, that's your ground. In the 10 grounds chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra, there are 10 distinct steps on the path to true awakening, complete Buddhahood, starting with an initial moment of bodhicitta. However, the description of each ground seems to contain every liberative quality one could possibly imagine. All the previous verses about time that before chapter 26 point in one direction, an utter lack of limitations in our aspiration to care for people. And not only that, is that the caring extends and is across time and space. It's the teaching and Buddhas have been saying this forever in every realm. We'll continue to say it, we'll continue to know it, not just as some intellectual, clinical truth, but just as my heart's aspiration is to be free from my own confusion so that I can be with other people, and we can all wake up from our confusions, and we can all stop hurting each other and find ways to live where we really care and create the world that we know. Speaking of the Bodhisattva's vow to liberate all beings, the Avatamsaka states, I knew this from Shantideva, which he must have known it from this, and this is what the Dalai Lama says every morning, we've been told. As long as earth exists, as long as beings exist, as long as acts and afflictions exist, so long will my vow remain. I'm not going to read. I want to be aware of. We on Tuesday, in entering these 10 grounds. I mean, we've been in this vast, kind of amazing, miraculous, mind-blowing space, right? So these are actually really kind of they're very grounded, but we need to know and always remember, and we'll keep reminding people that we are in this world completely, and we are also in worlds and world systems that continue to be beyond our comprehension. So the first paragraphs in the 10 grounds establishes where we are. We're in the principal palace in the Parinirmita realm, the 6th of the Buddha heavens, and the highest realm in pure form. Bet you didn't know that, huh? Here we are. And then there's a whole lot about how when you're practicing in this realm, it's very refined practice, and your dedication is very great. So you may think, yeah, well, it's just me. but you are simultaneously this. That's the mystery of this. And we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't get up and come to Sangha and sit zazen and care and be moved by the turnings of the world and the suffering of the world if you weren't already a bodhisattva. And now we're just waking up more and more to be a Buddha. So then what happens is the bodhisattvas all have amazing names. I'm going to cut to the chase here. But one of the great bodhisattvas enters a deep samadhi, deep meditative state. And then all these other bodhisattvas that have the same name appear. So you're everywhere. You're mirrored in time and space. It's like Christians are everywhere, mirroring Kristen and Rachel. And it's like, wow, this already just like, where are we and what are we doing? And then a light from Buddha's, it's called the urna, it's the dot on the forehead, illuminates the entire universe. So everything lights up. It's like when a sunbeam comes in, it's like, but it's everywhere. It's in every direction. I mean, sort of let your imagination go, right? Above, below, all around. It's like, poof. It's light. It's a light realm. And then this Bodhisattva diamond matrix comes out of this deep meditative state and says the 10 grounds. Today we're going to cover the ground of stainlessness. We covered the ground of joyfulness on Tuesday. Today it's the ground of stainlessness. The assembly has to ask 3 times for the teaching, because that's the way it is in Buddhism. You just don't like go out and proselytize. It's like you have to really want to know, because if you really want to know, then you really hear these words. When we chant today, they will go in a way. Then the whole chorus says together, the last time, please teach us. We're not going to be too blown away by this. We can do this. We're present. And then Shakyamuni Buddha, as well as all the other Buddhas, shoot out more light beams and illuminate the clouds and channel the magical power into all of the bodhisattvas. And so now we're all ready, right? Can you feel it? Okay. So now we're going to go to, let me read this first. The second ground's introductory verses and Dharma requests. As the bodhisattvas listen to this description of the joyfulness, which we have already done, you already know, even if you don't know, of the joyfulness ground, this sublime ground, their minds became entirely purified and they were filled with joy. So we're already here with joy, wide open. And so what happens is everybody rises from the ground into the air. We're all hovering. We're in the ground of the earth, but we're in a different ground. We're in this ground that is illuminated in all directions, 10 directions, 10 times. They ascend upward, stand in empty space. The most marvelous blossoms are scattered everywhere, and then they simultaneously together uttered praises of, we are so happy to be here and to be meeting and to have this teaching available to us. We are just levitating on the earth. And then Liberation Bodhisattva, knowing that the minds of those in the assembly were pure, and knowing they would delight in hearing the second ground and all of its characteristic aspects of practice, straight away made a request to this chief Bodhisattva, saying, O you of great wisdom, we pray you will continue to expound, for these children of Buddha would delight in hearing about the second of these grounds on which one may dwell. Okay, so now we're going to each of us, through our voices, chant. Let this teaching come through us, and let it echo in the room, and let it echo in your homes, And so Gretchen's gonna put it on screen, and you all can, I didn't bring, just bundle up with people or turn towards the screen so you can see.
I know. There's only like about 2 copies.
No, there's a bunch of them.
Where?
They're around, but you guys can share them more too.
No, we'll share it.
Yeah, but in the front row, you got 3 of them. Maybe you could pass some over there.
So this is the first ground? No, the second ground.
It's a second ground. The first ground is maybe people took it from off there. You want the second
Oh.
ground.
Okay.
We need the second ground.
This is the first ground.
Yeah, you want to.
And it's also on screen. So go up and sit on the screen like you're watching TV, which you are if you want to.
Can we land our stomachs? And
Yeah.
photograph?
Pardon? It should say the second ground, not the first ground.
Spaces to enter the second ground.
Do we have it? Okay, we got it? We're ready? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is in the places where it's in bold, I'm gonna chant that, and then we're gonna chant it all together. Gretchen's gonna scroll it, and we're just gonna keep going, and I think that we have time, we'll see. If I have to shorten it up, I'll do that, but I think we hopefully have time to do this. Okay? Are we okay? Are we ready? Okay. The 10 resolute intentions as basis for entering the second ground. Child of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, who has already cultivated the first ground and then wishes to the second round, should bring forth 10 types of resolute intentions. What then are these 10? They are as follows. The resolute intention to be upright and straightforward. The resolute intention to be gentle. The resolute intention to be capable. The resolute intention to be subdued. The resolute intention to be serene. The resolute intention to be thoroughly good. The resolute intention to be unmixed in moral purity. The resolute intention to be unattached. The resolute intention to be broadly inclusive. The resolute intention to be magnanimous. Okay, now you're going to notice the second ground is the precepts. The paramitas, it's the precepts. So I edited this a lot, but there were so many things I didn't want to edit out because I thought they were so cool. So here we go. The Bodhisattva's observation of 10 courses of good karmic action, avoidance of killing, child of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva dwelling on the ground of stainlessness, has naturally abandoned all killing of beings. She doesn't collect knives or staves, does not harbor feelings of animosity, is possessed of a sense of shame and dread of blame, is entirely complete in his humanity and consideration for others, and always brings forth thoughts of beneficial and kindful mindfulness for all beings, including anything at all that is possessed of a life. Okay, it says he. I tried to change the gender if you need to. Do what you need to do. This is not, you're not setting yourself up against this as you're a flawed human being because you're not this. This is your deepest aspiration, okay? Avoidance of taking what is not given. She naturally refrains from stealing as regards their own possessions and wealth. The Bodhisattva is easily satisfied. She feels kindness and consideration for others, and so does not wish to appropriate what is theirs. If something belongs to someone else, they regard it as their property, and hence never even thinks of stealing it. Hence she will not take even a blade of grass or a leaf that has not been given. how much the less might she take anything else that serves to sustain another's life. Avoidance of sexual misconduct. He naturally refrains from sexual misconduct. Avoidance of false speech. The Bodhisattva also practices truthful speech, genuine speech, and timely speech, and even in dreams does not countenance speech aimed at concealment. Avoidance of divisive speech. The Bodhisattva has no thought inclined toward investigating divisions between other beings and has no thought to do harm to others. She does not rejoice in divisions that occur between others, does not delight in divisions between others, does not utter any speech that might create divisions between others, and does not pass on to anyone any talk that might create divisions between others, regardless of whether or not these truths might be truthful. Avoidance of harsh speech. She naturally refrains from harsh speech such as poisonous and injurious speech, coarse and ferocious speech, speech inflicting suffering on others, whether as direct statements or indirect statements, speech inciting hatred, vulgar speech, base speech, speech that no one would enjoy hearing, displeasing speech, angry speech, speech that makes others feel as if earned by fire, speech generosity, animosity, aggravating speech, speech one cannot appreciate, speech in which one can find no happiness, speech that may bring harm to either oneself or others, or any other forms of speech, all of which one should abandon. She always engages in soothing, smooth speech, pliant speech, pleasing speech, speech that may inspire happiness in the hearer, speech that would be happy to hear, speech that delights the hearer, speech that skillfully enters others' minds, refined and principled speech, speech loved by the many, speech that many would find pleasing, and speech tending to cause an upwelling of delight in body and mind. Avoidance of frivolous speech. The Bodhisattva always delights in thoughtful and reasoned speech, timely speech, genuine speech, meaningful speech, dharma speech, speech according to the principles, skillfully subdued speech, and speech that accords with the right time, is always rooted in careful reflection and is definite in its clarity. Avoidance of covetousness. The Bodhisattva does not generate covetousness, wishfulness, or craving to possess any of the wealth or possessions of others, or anything others depend upon as a resource. Avoidance of ill will. She naturally abandons ill will. The Bodhisattva constantly brings forth kind thoughts, beneficial thoughts, pitying thoughts, joyful thoughts, harmoniously smooth thoughts, and inclusive accepting thoughts towards all beings. She has eternally relinquished ill will, animosity, injuriousness, and behavior intending to vex or torment others. Rather, she always engages in thoughtful and agreeably adaptive actions, while also being motivated toward humanity, kindfulness, helpfulness, and the desire to serve the benefit of others. Avoidance of wrong views. She also abandons wrong views. The Bodhisattva abides in the path of what is right, thus does not practice divination and does not seize on wrongly conceived rules for one's conduct. Their mental perspective is correct, straightforward, and free from motivations towards deceptiveness or flattery. She brings forth and maintains resolute and definite faith in the Buddha, in the Dharma, in the Sangha, in the matter that the Bodhisattva Mahasattva always and interruptedly guards and maintains the practice of the 10 courses of good karmic action, the Bodhisattva's reflections on good and bad karmic actions, those who adhere
should train in just such skillful means as these.
Oh,
Your turn.
no, I know, but I edited it some. Do I have renunciation of the 10 bad
Yeah.
Renunciation of the 10 bad actions and rousing of 10 altruistic minds? I must entirely abandon the 10 courses of unwholesome karmic action and instead take the 10 courses of good karmic action as the gardens of the Dharma where I am delighted to abide, dwelling there myself while also encouraging others so that they too are caused to dwell therein. Child of the Buddha, with regard to all beings, this Bodhisattva Mahasattva also brings forth a mind resolved to serve their benefit, a mind wishing to bring them peace and happiness, a kind mind, a compassionate mind, an empathetic, pitying mind, a mind motivated to draw them forth, a protective mind, a mind that sees them as like themselves, a mind that regards them as like teachers, a mind that regards them as like great teaching masters. Reflections on the plight of beings and resolve to rescue them. All beings differentiate other as opposed to self, and thus engage in mutually destructive actions, disputatiousness, and hatred that blazes incessantly. I should cause them to abide in the unsurpassable great kindness. I should cause them to abide in the Dharma of right livelihood, characterized by pure actions of body, speech, and mind. I should cause them to extinguish that great blaze fled by all of their afflictions. I should cause them to acquire the unimpeded, purified wisdom eye with which they can know the true character of all dharmas. I should pull them out of these hazardous difficulties and cause them to abide in the fearless city of all knowledge. I should bring forth the mind of great compassion for them, should employ roots of goodness as means of rescuing them. I should cause them to abandon forever the 3 realms of existence so that they may come to dwell in the great nirvana that is free of all obstacles. I should cause them to take up residence in the most extremely superior station in which they are free of all attachments. Through his guarding and upholding of the moral precepts, the Bodhisattva becomes well adapted to achieve growth in the mind of kindness and compassion. Okay, I'm going to stop us here, because then what you start to do is you just start seeing Buddhas everywhere. Everybody and everything, you see them as a Buddha, and you just want to help. And then you just want to do all these things. And I will say, you know you're not going to be able to do all these things, but you know that's what your heart is. You really want to be able to help people this way. As for these most supreme practices, this is a summary of the Bodhisattva cultivated by one who bestows benefit on everyone in the world. All such meritorious qualities found on the second ground as these have hereby been expounded on for the sake of the Buddha's children. So one of the really nice things about Ben Connolly is at the end of his little chapter 15, where is it? Maybe I can find it. He tells a really sweet little story. Maybe it's in another chapter. Oh, here it is. find it. Anyway, he just talks about, because Ben was an alcoholic. He's very, I mean, he really just says that. And then he just talks about being with another alcoholic who's still an alcoholic. And of not seeing separation, of just wanting to be there together. And depends on how you see yourself and how you see each other, how you enter these realms, and then what comes forth in you. So these are all encouragements, and it's the precepts. And we know the precepts are impossible, right? Being a human being is impossible. And it's also our deepest heart's yearning. So I would encourage you now, and we have, I don't know, at least 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes, of just what arises when you, maybe there are some words in here that really, some phrases that come up for you that feel, like Debbie had one in the joyfulness, but it's here again, the disputatiousness.
Abundant disinclination to disputatiousness.
See, so maybe there's something here that came up for you, or maybe there's just, anyway, whatever's here, talk to each other. This is the second ground of a bodhisattva. Bodhisattvas, how does this sit in you?